I just want to thank the San Francisco Public Library and Jack. This is a great, experience. I've only read this poem once before because it's very hard for me to read it. I read it at the Reader's Cafe. It's about I lived in New York City during 9/11, and my mother was in the first tower that got hit, so on the 50th floor. So I wasn't able to really write anything about it, but I felt that I needed to write something about 2 years ago, try to write something because I was starting to lose my memory of the event, so I wanted to put down my memories. 9/11. I didn't watch the news that morning. I used to get up late, always late to work. I hated work. I hated cubicles and fluorescent lights. I could never get out of bed that early. I hated fighting to get a seat, hoping to catch a nap along the way or else remain standing on the train every morning like torture. Late as usual, this time I actually found a seat on the train heading over the Manhattan Bridge. That long, draining 10-minute passage over the East River felt like forever. But on that morning, all of a sudden, people rose and moved to the other side of the train, left their precious seats. One by one, they jumped up like a wave and went to the windows. What's happening, I thought to myself. Did someone jump from the bridge? What could it possibly be? Reluctantly, I made my way to the other side and stood peeking through shoulders, found a little space between to see outside the window 2 towers lit like torches. Oh my God, someone sighed behind their hands. At first, the image did not register as reality. I rubbed my eyes until they widened. Oh my God, I thought, my mother's in there. Quickly, I woke. My mind jumped into action. Think, somewhere. Where is she? On the 50-something floor. I started to count frantically from what I could see. I lost track as the train crawled and people jostled. 2 towers lit like torches against the gray sky. This is not right. This does not look right. This looked impossible. Looked like a horror movie. Looked fake even. Seemed quiet. I didn't see the crash. Just fire smoldering from the heights. Hands clasped their mouths in disbelief and horror and shock. How did this happen? A plane hit the building, a passenger said. We looked at each other in a daze. All I can think about was my mother. All I can think was I had to get to a phone as fast as I could. I had to call her. At the time, we didn't have mobile phones. Maybe she was okay. Stay positive. She might be okay. The tops of the buildings are on fire. Those poor people up there, those poor people. Maybe they got out. I wiped the crust from my eyes, my mind racing as fast as the train. Next stop, Grand Street, Chinatown, 14th Street, 34th Street, he announced. I thought of jumping off. Calm down. All the payphones jammed with nervous people. Can't wait. People scattered from left to right in a frenzy, not knowing where to go. No time to wait. Get to work as fast as possible. Use the office phone. Upper East Side. Have to get there. Train. Move faster. Doors open and close. Train brakes screech. Push and pull. Announcement over the loudspeaker, and a crackling voice from the conductor says, "We have word that a plane just hit the Pentagon." Are we in a war? Are we under attack? Should I stay underground? What's happening above? I imagine fighter planes gunning down office windows and business people darting in zigzags through the street. Is it too dangerous to run up and find a phone? How could the government not know, not protect us? Seemed impossible. Doors opened. I ran up escalators, ran upstairs. How could they not know in this information age, in this communication age of internet, cell phones, television, immediate information, real time? My heart raced running across streets, looking at the sky. Helicopters fluttered. People ran in all directions. Traffic fleeing downtown. Smoke traveled like a ghost, far in the distance as if it were following me. I thought to myself in the midst of it all, whoever drove that plane into that building must have had some reason. Things like this don't happen for no reason. This is planned. This is many months of planning. Is it karma? Are we responsible? Are we reaping the result of oppression, ignorance, violence? Are we paying? Is this finally the time when we have to pay up? Where is the government? Star Wars, satellites, how could they not know? Seemed impossible. How could they let thousands die? Their job is to protect us. How could they not know a plane was so far off course? How is it possible? It was a clear day, no clouds, no fog. These thoughts popped in, popped out as my feet pounded pavement. I ran past the doorman into my office building, pressed elevator buttons. Doors opened and I ran. A coworker stopped me in the hallway, brought me to the conference room. Everyone from my company crammed into a tiny room, gasping, watching the television with hands over their mouths. But it's happening outside. It's happening right here, now, in real life. It's happening in flesh and blood downtown. You could see it from the street. You could smell the smoke all the way uptown. No sooner than I stepped into the room, I saw the images on the television. Tower 1 fell, stacked one floor on top of the other, slowly fell like dominoes in a puff of smoke as each floor dropped. My mother is in there. My mother works there. The words leave my fingertips from in between in a whisper. Please, God, no, please, God, no, I cried. I don't want to cry in front of my coworkers. My heart raced faster. I was mortified. Everyone felt like a stranger to me. My boss held me by the shoulders, asked if I was okay, asked about my mother, wants more information, wants to help. I only want to run and hide. I tell her I don't know. I loosened myself from my hands and I ran to my desk down the long corridor. Blurred vision, I picked up the phone to call my mother, my hands shaking, fumbling with number buttons, praying, praying, praying. Why would anybody pick up, I think? But I dial anyway, I hope anyway. The building is down, crumbled in seconds, praying, praying. I don't know, I can only pray. I can only try to believe. Maybe my eyes are deceiving me. Nothing. Beeping, beeping, beeping. Disconnect. The building is down. I ran out the back door, down the hall, past the conference room and coworkers, down elevators, clear across traffic. I can barely see. I feel frightened. I feel sorrow and doom. I wonder if this is it, the dreaded day I always knew would come, when my mother is gone. Is this how it goes? Is this how it would happen so suddenly, no chance to say goodbye? I land across the street at a small park where I usually bring my lunch. A fountain runs like a river through it. A Japanese waterfall and concrete steps offer some comfort. I put my head in my hands and I sob in the Zen-like garden. I let sorrow and fear have its way with me, and it courses through my body. It consumes my heart and my lungs that start to heave and to ache and ring out in every vein and every cell. I don't know if she's dead or alive. The other side of doom comes to life in a thread of hope through my thoughts. Maybe she's okay. Maybe she ran. Maybe she made it. It's been half an hour from the time I saw the towers burning while I was on the bridge to the time I saw them topple on the television. Maybe she made it. What if she made it? It would take her a while to get to a phone if she did. Busy signals, busy signals. How long would it take to get down 50 flights of stairs? All those people, did they make it? Those poor people? The chaos in the street, the burning fire? A friend from the office found me, came to be with me to see if I was okay. I started to reason with myself and with him. What if she was gone? There's nothing I can do. I'm powerless. An hour had gone by. He convinced me to come back with him. The park was closing. The security guard told us to leave. We returned to the office together. Maybe she will call me there. Maybe I can call my family. I'm afraid to call them, and I don't want to deliver bad news. I don't want to make anyone worry. But this is happening. It is. My body felt completely weak and drained. As we walked back to the office, my boss ran down the hall for me. Quick, get to the phone. Your mother's on the phone. Your mother. I ran with her, and I picked up the receiver to hear her voice, so distant and familiar. Jennifer. My voice was shaking, cracking as the dread left my body and became quickly replaced with relief. My cheek touching the phone became flushed and heated. My lips trembled to get the words out clearly. Thank God you're okay. Thank God. I started sobbing through words. I was so worried about you. So worried. You have no idea. I'm so happy to hear your voice. I call everyone in the family with happy news. She's okay. She's okay. She made it. She was in the building when the first plane hit. Building 1 on the 50-something floor, about halfway. She said she got to her desk and the whole building shook from side to side. Flaming shards fell past the window. No one knew what was happening. She didn't think twice. She just grabbed her bag and ran. No, she didn't have a cell phone. She made it down the elevator, and then all those stairs. They told her not to look outside. Keep on moving. The globe sculpture dented. They told her not to look. Make way for the firemen. The frightened faces of the firemen passing, walking up toward the fires. Everyone was walking down. They told her to stay close to the building, not to go anywhere, but she didn't listen. She ran. She walked far away from the scene. She walked clear across the Brooklyn Bridge. Halfway over, she heard that unforgettable sound. The building floors stacking, one on top of the next like dominoes. So neatly they fell behind her, she shuddered, but kept moving toward Brooklyn, toward home, until finally she called me.